Here on the round router table, we're going to use some of the similar bits that we used before. Shaper number 1, the rabbiting bit. Take your drawer front. Now I have this knot that I don't want to see, so I'm going to have that down as I go across. And you're going to go across the grain, flip it around and go across the grain. Make sure to use your backing board. So take your time. This may burn a little simply because this is solid wood and we're used to using plywood on this. But go ahead, it's the same system, same machine. Now we shift over to shaper number 2, and in this case, we're going to do all 4 of them. So this drawer is going to completely surround the bottom instead of sliding it into the back. So we take our front piece, make sure those rabbets are down. Now again, I see this knot, so I want the knot against the fence. That'll be the downside, that'll be the underside of the drawer. All right, I've set up my pieces and they're going to go so all of the grooves are down and those will go together into those joints and this will go here. Now we are missing a rabbet on the back and I didn't put it in on purpose because it is very easy to cut these upside down. But now that I've got it set up, I need to put a rabbet here on this and here on this. So I skipped it at first because I find it easier now that I know I've identified the bottom, that's got to go down. Now I can go cut these, and that way you don't make the mistake of accidentally putting a rabbet on the wrong end, and you have to start over. It's time to do a little bit of math. We need to figure out the size of the bottom. Now the first part's easy. So you take off the back piece. Whatever that length is, that's exactly how wide the bottom has to be, minus 13 and 13/16. So I'm just going to write it down on some piece of scrap wood so I don't forget it. Now the other one is we take a side piece and measure the total length of that. I have 14.5. It is this length minus 1/4 of an inch. So 14.5 minus 1/4 is 14 1/4. And I'll write that down. 14 1/4. Then I'll just take it back and try to find some of the white melamine, the 1/4 inch stuff, to be big enough for that bottom. Found a piece of white melamine under the upcut saw. So I tend to take these numbers and go just a hair shy of them. So on the other side of the line, if you will, on the tape measure. So I always do my bigger measurements first, 14 1/4, and I'm going to go just a hair shy of that. And my other one, 13 13/16, and again, just a little smaller than that. Then we'll put it in and see if it fits. Now we're looking for gaps. So we'll take this piece. And remember, it should be exactly the same as that back, so I know that it goes that way. And this may fit in kind of tight. There we go. Then you can just kind of build around it. The rabbet joints line up. If you need to take a mallet and tap it together, that's fine. Go. And that fits on snug like that. All right. Now I'm looking for gaps. Now, if it is too wide this way, you'll see gaps in the back, right here where the bottom will be. I don't see any. If I can press together and they disappear, that's good. That's why I left it a hair shy. If it's too long this way, then there'll be a gap here in the side. And again, I press together and I don't see any gaps here or even right here in this joint there. So everything looks tight. Now, if you see any gaps, go ahead and table saw it a little bit smaller. to size until those disappear. And you put this together just like you would anything else. We're going to glue it and nail it in, except in the front here, you don't want to nail the front. I don't want to see nail heads that we have to putty up. So we're going to nail into the side at a little bit of an angle. Now that we have our drawer box together, we know the bottom fits, and before we nail and glue it together, make sure it fits. Let's put it in. And remember what we're looking for. We're looking for about 1/8 of an inch at the top, and about the same. If I push this all the way to the side, there's no gap here, but I have about 1/8 of an inch here, which will give me a 1/16 on both sides. So that's exactly what I want. Now, if I push it in all the way, it should be 1/4 inch short. We'll deal with that later. We did that on purpose, and we can fix that with something later on. But I've got the gap that I wanted, and I know you can't grab it, so you just take your piece and kind of jiggle it until it pops out the front. Now we can glue and nail this together, and we're ready to move on with the rest of the project. Now that we know it fits, let's put it together. Just kind of pry it all apart, and you're just going to glue the rabbet joints and put it together with short nails, short nails. The back two are easy enough. Go straight through the rabbet. And remember to keep it a little bit high down there so you don't shoot into where the bottom is. First, it could split the bottom, and second, you're not going to attach anything. Flip it around, do it again. Now the front is a little bit different. Most of the time when we're doing drawer boxes, we'll just shoot through the front and attach the front to it. This isn't the case on this one. So I need to angle the shot so I'm not going to pop out into the drawer a little bit. 2 shots. Okay, so I didn't miss. They are into the front, and that makes a very strong joint because now the nail is across the direction the board wants to come out, and that's what we want. Good. Drawer is together. Now go ahead and putty your holes. We usually don't on drawer boxes, but because this is a nice solid drawer, nice solid box that we took time on, we want to make it look good. So go ahead and putty these up, sand it down till it fits correctly, and you're happy with it.